How's it going, everyone? Merciless Vaughn here, back again with another Bleach Brave Souls video, and in this one, it's going to be a versus video. Now, usually on the 13th of every month, they release the info for the mid-month banners, but apparently for this month, the banner info is not out yet. I checked the news, and whatever the mid-month banner is going to be, it's not here. And so obviously that's what would have been this video, but instead, yeah, just gonna do this versus video. It's gonna be the 1,000-year blood war Toshiro versus the, I guess you can say, the Quincy Ichigo. And so yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, you have been here for a while, subscribe and help me get to 300 subscribers. I am making my way there. And with all that said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so first things first, we can take a quick look at the Toshiro. I won't go into detail too much about this unit because I did in his initial showcase. I also did a showcase of him 5 out of 5 max percentage and done many other versus videos. But what you should know about this unit is he is a technique unit with the Soul Reaper and Squad 0 killer. So having 2 killers is pretty good. His soul trait, as you can see, is just the basic strong attack recharge time minus 12%. Now, I only have one copy of the Ichigo, so I took off all those bonus stats and just left this plus 500 SP in the last slot here. Really can't take it off anyways. He is a melee unit with frost on all of his abilities. He does come with the gauge effect, which is good. And as you can see here are just his innate skills. When he activates his gauge, he does recharge his strong attacks 30% and gets a 30% heal as well. The share complete status immunity skill is really great. If you are inflicted with a status ailment, everyone in your party, including yourself, will be immune to that status ailment. His frenzy is only at +1. He does have bombardment +1, and he does have marauder as well, which is really good. And yeah, that was just a real quick look at the Toshiro. As for the accessories that I will use for this showcase, the accessories will be the T-set, fortification pill, and the lieutenant's badge. As for the character links, just some strong attack recharge time and full stamina damage links here. As for the bonus abilities, full stamina damage boost, and I changed the weakened defense to that plus 200% SP because that's what I gave the Ichigo, and we'll just go over the Ichigo when we get over there. And yeah, now speaking of the Ichigo, go ahead and take a quick look at him. As you can see, this Ichigo, he is a technique unit with the no affiliation killer. I believe this is just a renewed version of the, I think the speed Quincy Ichigo that released a while back, so they just renewed this version. And so he does have 2 killers, which is Hollow and Human. Pretty good killers. There's not a lot of human killer units in the game, in my opinion. I only do have the 1 copy, and as you can see, the SP is at level 10. Soul trait is the same as the Toshiro, strong attack recharge time minus 12%. And as for his skills, he is a range unit with weakening and drain on all of his strong attacks, which is just a great combination of status elements to have. NA skills, Sprinter +2, have a 20%, full stamina damage boost +20%. Technique, attribute, strong attack recharge +20%. So when you move in between stages, your strong attacks will have a 20% reduced cooldown, which is relatively good. Devastation 40%. He does have Frenzy +2, Defibrillator +2 seconds. He has the team/party, increased technique, attribute, character, strong attack damage +20%. He does have sharpshooter, which is good. And my 2 favorite combinations of skills: increased status element chance against speed attribute enemies, and the status element spiritual pressure boost. Now, I've talked about this countless times in pretty much all of my videos. These 2 skills combined right here will just make any unit any good, and you'll have consistent damage with this status element spiritual pressure boost. So this unit having that and the increased status element chance skill is just great. I love units with these skills. And yeah, not bad at all. His strong attacks aren't that bad either. And yeah, that's pretty much it. As for the accessories for this character, going to be the Kamari Fortification Pill and the Katakuran. Now, since they're both technique units, I will be using the same links here. So the links that you saw on the Toshiro will be used for this Ichigo. And as for the bonus abilities, full stamina damage boost and plus 200 SP. And so that's it for the characters' strong attacks, skills, accessories, character links, and bonus abilities. Let's just go ahead and jump into some content to see what they can do. Alright, so here we are in a co-op IT. I mentioned in the last versus video I wanted to start doing these versus videos in co-op Quest. Just because, you know, enemies in the single player IT are just too weak, and characters that release nowadays are just too strong for single player IT. And so, as you can see here, it does slow your enemies in this current IT, so the Toshiro will have killer. So it is kind of a bit unfair, because, you know, killer advantages in IT is just really something good to have. But as you can see here, this Toshiro, even though he is just 1 out of 5, he's still really good. Not to mention having the gauge is also very good. Also, do keep in mind that we do have the 1000-Year Blood War 2022 version of Uryu is increasing our strong attack damage by 20%, and the SAFWY Gen is also increasing our movement speed by 20%. So we're moving 20%. No, excuse me, it's 30% movement speed. I got that mixed up. 30% movement speed and 20% increased strong attack damage. And with the share complete status immunity, we are giving everyone in the party immune to fire status element, which is great. It's a pretty decent support skill, really. Yeah, easily just blew through this IT content. I did take off weakened defense, so let's see if we can go through all 5 waves here. So even out of 1 out of 5 with no tension, tie, or weakened defense, we were able to go through all of the waves in the last room, which is really good. Really good for a year-old unit. So here we are back in here again. There's no Gen in this run, so we are moving slower. As you can see, it is kind of a major difference having a Gen and not having one. So anyways, took some damage there, but if we don't take any more damage, we should be able to get back up to full stam by just using our gauge. I recently did a 1 year later showcase for this unit, and he was 5 out of 5 max percentage. And so now that you can kind of look at this unit 1 year later, you know, just 1 out of 5, he's still really good. Yeah, just having killer definitely helps out any unit, really. So yeah, 1 year later, this unit is still pretty dominant, if I do say so myself. And so with having that Uryu here, he also does help us recover stamina in between stages. And, you know, that plus getting a heal on our gauge effect, we should be able to get back to full stam here and just be able to do lots of damage. No, never mind now. Took that hit. Came out of nowhere. No, it's fine. I get my free revive for today. Back to full stam. And yeah. Yeah. This unit is still really great. And since Toshiro is one of my favorite characters from the series, glad to have a, you know, just a good Toshiro unit in the game. Now, if we can like get a NAD unit with these type of skills, that's really good. That would be great as well. We don't get a lot of NAD units. I think because it's, you know, like NAD units that are ranged with flurry and like with the gauge effect and has insane skills would just be like really too OP. Especially if they have like the barrier on their SA2. Gojo Blaze is a crazy name. Alright, so here we are. We're going to be doing some runs with this Ichigo now. This Ichigo is not immune to any status elements, so we have to be very, very careful of these status element pulls. I mean, yes, he does have the drain skill, which will help you get back to full stam, but you know, you still just really don't want to take any damage from those status element pulls on the round. And one thing I did forget, I forgot to mention this while I was covering their skills, but both of these units do have the status element spiritual pressure boost. The major difference is this unit has the increased status element chance against the speed attribute characters. So this unit will be inflicting his status element a lot more often than the Toshiro will. I say that, but we didn't inflict the status element on that guy. Alright, but now he had it. And you know, I just prefer units just to have that combo skill anyways, because the damage is more, you know, just consistent in my opinion. And overall, even though this unit does not have killer, he's still doing really well in my opinion. I mean, just weakening and drain are like just like the best status element combos you can have, really. I don't have a problem with that. And yeah, so we were able to take out those bosses right there relatively easy. And you know, with this unit, you just heal from getting inflicting status elements. You don't have to, like, you know, with the Toshiro, in order for you to heal, you would have to just activate your gauge a few times. But you just get straight up healing when you inflict the status element, which is great. So yeah, I really like this unit. This is definitely still a top tier unit in my opinion. We got afflicted with the status element and rapid, so we're no longer at full stam. Unfortunate. Now, I'm not very confident that this unit can go through all of the last few enemies in this last room, but we'll still use this soul bomb just to see how far he can go. Yeah, did not get far at all. Barely took out that first wave. Though we didn't have full stem though, and no killer is also. You gotta remember that. Gojo blazes back. But anyway, here we are for the last run for this video. I'll give my overall thoughts on the unit, but what I can definitely tell you that both of these units are top 10. Even 1 out of 5, yeah, they're still just some really great units. Oh, shoot. That just was poor positioning. I say they're both top 10 units, but I just got destroyed right there. That was just me not playing well. But yes, yeah, both units are, I think this Ichigo is pretty much a year old now. I believe he came out around February or March of last year. So yeah, they're both year-old units and they're holding up really well. Gosh dang it. Now do keep in mind that when this Ichigo has killer, he will just be even more deadly. So if he's doing some pretty good things here without killer, when he does have it, yeah, he'll just be even better. Even though I died twice, I still will include this run in the video. See, poor positioning again. So I'll try to keep my full stam here and use my soul bomb in the last room. That's fine. The only bad thing I really have to say about this unit is that he's not immune to any status elements, which just kind of sucks, really. But you can kind of just, like, not really worry about it since he can using a soul bomb. as I was saying, you can kind of not worry about it since he does have drain and increased status element chance, but you really just, you know, just taking damage from status elements is just quite annoying and you lose your force down. Alright, so that was kind of a brief showcase of these units side by side. Now, as for who is better, obviously right now the Toshiro is better just because he has killer, and you know, he just also does have a gauge effect, which is just really good. With the gauge effect you get 100% berserker and decreased damage taken, and yeah, that's really good. He does heal on his gauge as well, and you know, the reduced strong attack cooldown as well. Share complete status immunity, you can never go wrong with that. Any status element spiritual pressure boost, and not to mention the bombardment is good. And as you can see with this bombardment +1 and the gauge, he was able to go through all of the enemies in the last room of the IT runs, while the Ichigo just pretty much really only took care of the first wave of enemies really. But in my opinion, I don't know, I'd say they're both pretty tied. I do like the Ichigo more just because he has drained, weakening. He is a ranged unit. You can, you know, ranged units are really good. The further you are away from the enemies, the less likely you are to take damage. He also does have Frenzy +2, while the Toshiro only has the Frenzy +1. He has Sharpshooter. He does also increase your strong attack damage by 20%. That's good as well. And you know, just the best combo in the game, status element spiritual pressure boost right here and the increased status element chance, just my favorite combo. I'm a little bit biased towards units that have these two skills together, while units only just have, you know, the status element spiritual pressure boost. So yeah, units just have these two skills I just like a lot more. And another thing to note is that both of the units do have full stamina damage boost 20% as their innate skills, and as you can see here, it's not really added to the one that's, you know, just in the skills. So I'm guessing these full stamina damage boosts that's in the innate skills are maybe calculated differently. How that is calculated, I'm not sure. I'll leave that to people that are smarter than me to figure that out. As you can see here, full stamina damage boost 20% and the increased strong attack damage at full stam only 40%. So as of right now, the Toshiro is better because he does have killer, but when the Ichigo gets killer, he'll be really good. Not to mention just being immune to status elements, so you don't have to worry about, you know, just the status elements that are on the ground. You can freely move around while your movement is restricted in IT runs with the Ichigo. And yeah, those are my thoughts on the unit. Maybe you have different ones, let me know. And that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And as usual, until next time.